organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up this morning on Daily Iowan TV, the first presidential debate hit airwaves last night. Find out how students in Iowa are reacting to the candidates' responses. And then the March of the Dead are keeping charities alive.
Another Iowa football player receives Big Ten honors this season.
Plus, an injury rumor has Hawkeye Football Nation a little worried.
From Kinnick to the Old Capitol, Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Andrew Roberts. The first presidential debate of 2016 took place last night and the candidates were ready for action. From topics that expanded on national security to taxes among the American people, the goal of the debate was for Democratic nominee Clinton and Republican nominee Trump to address America as a whole and not make it about themselves. The race before the debate was nearly tied and featured the most undecided viewership in history. Audience members were not allowed to cheer, clap, or boo another candidate. The majority of viewers declared Clinton the winner of this debate by putting Trump on the defensive. As of 2 hours ago, Clinton is polling at 45%, where Trump is not far behind with 42%. This year's presidential race features many firsts, including the first female and billionaire candidates. But could this be the first year in which student voter turnout makes an impact? I took a look into student involvement in this year's election here at the UI. Check it out. The presidential election is quickly approaching, and Monday evening marked the first presidential debate in which Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton squared off for the first time. Historically speaking, student voter turnout has been very low over the past several elections. This year, University of Iowa students are trying to make a change. Numerous students met here in the rotunda of the Adler Journalism Building to watch the debate themselves. Around 40 students came to watch the candidates square off for the first presidential debate. Yet, statistically speaking, less than 20 will vote in the election. The youth vote is made up of persons 18 to 29 years old, a group that has struggled to vote in previous elections. Just 45% of them cast a ballot in 2012. Dr. David Sutt Montgomery works to increase student turnout here at the UI. He feels voice is a key part to students voting.
The big key to higher voter turnout for young people is feeling like their voice matters.
Yet other students fail to meet registration deadlines, keeping them out of the polls, a problem that is not seen here in Iowa. While there may be several different factors to why students may or may not make it to the voting booths this year, it will be a waiting game, as the state of Iowa does offer same-day voter registration, which could be a make or break for either candidate looking to secure student votes. Reporting from Adler Journalism Building, Andrew Roberts, Daily Iowan TV. So much going on surrounding the presidential election. There's also a lot going on in eastern Iowa. We have Ryan Scott standing by in the weather studio with an update on the flooding taking place in Cedar Rapids.
Thank you, Andrew. As of 1 hour ago, the crest forecast in the city of Cedar Rapids has reached a new high of 23.5 feet. That is a new record. It is also the second highest level on record. A flood warning is still in place for Cedar, Johnson, and Lynn counties. And for here in Iowa City, it's feeling like sweater weather with temperatures in the low 50s with an afternoon high in the upper 60s. This evening, temperatures will drop back down to high 50s and we'll see partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow morning, again, we'll see temperatures in the mid to low 50s as we start the day. Now let's take a look at our 6-day forecast. As you can see, this homecoming week, we're seeing highs in the low 70s for the most part. Very different from last week. Tuesday, we'll see a high of 70 degrees and clear skies. Wednesday will be the coolest day of our week with an afternoon high of 64 degrees and cloudy skies. Thursday, our afternoon high will jump back into the 70s at 71 degrees with sunny skies. Friday, we'll see an afternoon high of 72 degrees and partly cloudy skies. And Saturday, it's going to be pretty cloudy when the Hawks take on Northwestern, and we'll see an afternoon high of 72 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Sunday, we'll see an afternoon high of 73 degrees and partly cloudy skies. That's all we've got here in the weather studio. Andrew, back to you.
The homecoming parade is scheduled for this Friday at 5:45 p.m. in downtown Iowa City. However, anyone driving through the downtown area on Friday should be prepared for street closures to begin impacting traffic around 3 p.m. Those planning on attending the event should also be prepared for some changes. Due to the road construction throughout the downtown area, the route has been adjusted this year. The parade will begin at the intersection of Gilbert Street and Iowa Avenue and head west. The route will then head south on Dubuque Street before heading west on Washington. At Clinton Street, the parade will head north, then turn east onto Jefferson Street. The route will end at the intersection of Jefferson and Gilbert. Last weekend, zombies were spotted roaming the downtown Iowa City area, and they all gathered to raise awareness for a few select charities. Our Daily Iowan TV reporter Noah Gowdy has the story on this unique event.
Zombies of all ages gathered in Iowa City for the 11th annual Zombie March this last Saturday. The event started 11 years ago with a group of zombie enthusiasts who wanted to showcase their love for the undead while doing something good in the community. These zombies are not just a bunch of useless undead bodies walking around because they are using their size and numbers to raise awareness for local charities. The two main charities that the proceeds went to this year were Definitely Dogs, which raises service dogs to help in the community, and Table to Table, which provides food for those that are in need.
The first year was small, we had like 35, and I think we've had consistently 75 to 100, over 300 one year. So it's kind of usually about 100, 150 is about standard.
Before the march started, the zombies were encouraged to come to the event to socialize with their fellow zombie enthusiasts and learn more about the charities that they are helping this year. If someone were to need help with their zombie transformation, they had access to a professional special effects and makeup artist that would take them from being a live human being and turn them into an undead zombie in just a few minutes.
Last year I came and I actually did, a lot of makeup, and I had a lot of fun doing that. And then I decided to do it a third year because I had some time this month.
The march led the zombies from Happy Hollow Park through the downtown Iowa City area for the whole community to see. The final resting point for these zombies was the mill for an undead after party. All proceeds raised from the fundraiser were donated to charities selected for this year's event. Zombie March has seen a growing participation throughout the 11 years, and the organizers plan to continue this annual tradition. Reporting from downtown Iowa City, Noah Gowdy, Daily Iowan TV.
The Iowa City Bike Library is celebrating its new location on 700 South Dubuque Street. Over 1,500 bikes have been checked out so far. Our reporter Daisy Lee had a talk with the founder and executive director to find out the missions behind the organization.
You can find a good deal at the Iowa City Bike Library. By depositing around $150, and you can keep the bike for 6 months and get almost all the deposit back after 6 months if there's no damage. The founder of the Iowa City Bike Library, Brian Lawrence, says this is the idea to let everyone enjoy cycling without putting a lot of money in it.
Creating a space that really open, welcoming, could come in here and feel welcome and find a bike for relatively low cost.
Iowa City Bike Library Executive Director Cody Gieselman uses 5 words to describe the mission: getting more people on bikes. But the mission goes beyond people riding bikes.
The environmental aspect of what we do is very important to us as well, so reducing carbon emissions certainly is high on the list.
Cody also encourages the reuse of bike to reduce the burden on the manufacturing.
If there's something that already exists in the world, why put the additional pressure on manufacturing and all those sources of pollution when you can just fix a thing that already exists?
This is a bench stand. You can find any tools and components you want to help you fix the bike. You can also replace the parts you don't like and make your own bike. The education of how to do bike repair brings to the schedule. If you want to learn one more skill and you're interested in having a bike, go check out the Iowa City Bike Library. Reporting from Iowa City, Dubuque Street, Daisy Lee, Daily Iowan TV.
I'm sure everyone is getting fired up for this year's homecoming game, but some shocking news hit the Hawkeye sports world yesterday. John Leo and Mary-Kate Harrion are standing by in the sports studio. Guys, what's going on?
Yeah, everyone is definitely excited about the homecoming game, and there's someone that is not going to be on the field on Saturday.
It was speculated last night on Twitter that Matt Vandenberg broke his foot in practice on Monday.
Hopefully the injury will be addressed at today's press conference, so we will definitely keep you updated on that. But on a lighter note, following Iowa's win over Rutgers last weekend, senior punter Ron Caluzzi was named Big Ten Conference Special Teams Player of the Week.
Colucci averaged 42 yards on 7 punts, with his longest being 55 yards on Saturday. He also had recorded touchbacks on all 3 of his kickoffs.
Aside from Saturday, Colucci is averaging about 43 yards on 20 punts with 5 over 50 yards this season.
We'll have more football updates from today's press conference for Wednesday's show.
As Big Ten play has started in most sports, the Iowa volleyball team is off to a great start. One unit on this squad has depth to match some of the best in the Big Ten. Colin Murphy has more.
They can go 5 deep, and they are currently 5th in the Big Ten in kills per set average. I'm talking about the outside hitters for the Iowa Hawkeyes volleyball team. Led by senior Lauren Brobes, this aspect of the offense has head coach Bon Szymanski digging his front line in the grueling Big Ten.
Our front row depth is great this year. We have 5 really talented outside hitters and a couple talented right sides and middles, and it's really changed the dynamic part of the game for us offensively.
This front line has Coach Szymanski believing they are as comparable as any in the Big Ten.
The Big Ten is certainly the most athletic conference in the country right now for volleyball, and I think our depth is very comparable.
The depth this team has in their hitters is not only good for that position, but it benefits everyone on the floor.
It makes my job easier because I have so many options to choose from. It's not just one person that I'm constantly going to every time, but I can go to a bunch of different hitters and we become really unpredictable.
Yeah, I think overall, just giving our setter more options to have and not having to go to one particular hitter, being able to spread the ball out more, it helps the offense run better and makes the other team's blockers and defense not know what to expect.
With Big Ten play starting this past weekend, the Hawkeyes are definitely going to need this unit to stay consistent to compete in such a tough conference. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Colin Murphy, Daily Iowan, TV Sports.
You can see these outside hitters and the rest of the volleyball team compete against Maryland Wednesday night in Carver at 7 p.m.
There's one Iowa program that's different than many others across the country, and that's Iowa wrestling.
The Iowa program rolls out national contending teams year in and year out. The team also has one of the most passionate fan bases in the country. Zach Mackey takes a closer look.
Year after year, the University of Iowa wrestling team not only dominates on the mat, but leads the country in attendance. It has done so for the last 10 seasons and continues to keep its name at the top.
There's good wrestling. There's no better sport. But it has to be good wrestling. It has to be entertaining wrestling. Not 2 guys standing there looking at each other, but, Iowa kind of wrestling.
The Hawkeyes averaged an NCAA record 12,166 fans in 8 home dates, and including the 2016 Big Ten Championship. The team welcomed a total of 132,913 wrestling fans throughout the gates of Kinnick Stadium and Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Absolutely, our fans are very, very involved with what's going on. I don't want to say our basketball fans aren't, but definitely the wrestling fan is, I would say, more intense about what's going on the mat and what we're doing. Otherwise, if we have to take a break for TV, they get a little upset because they just want to see wrestling. Sometimes for basketball, they're a little bit happy that there's a break because there's a break in the action. But wrestling, they just want to go, 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 go.
Sometimes there's so much going on that you lose where you're at. And it's not really that you black out, but you realize that you're actually making a complete fool out of yourself. But the antics are real, and you can't help it. And there was an event a couple of years ago, I think against Illinois, where Alex Meyer got a fall right at the end of the period in a match where he was behind. And I think Terry was running around the mat, but I didn't even know that till later. I was the one that was making an idiot. I was kept doing this, and I don't do that. I don't look at the crowd. And in that case, my phone had blown up when I was walking out of here. Your brother was great. Your brother was great. I don't know what he did. And then I found out that he was actually running around the mat.
It's not easy being a fan favorite. Coach Tom Brands knows all too well what it takes to be one of the Hawkeyes' favorite out there on the mat.
Great for fans when you pick a guy up and throw him down hard. That's the best way to become a fan favorite. But be able to do that over and over again.
The Hawkeyes have one of their best home schedules this year with 6 duels located right at home.
Less duels, but the quality of the opponents coming in is unheard of.
Iowa wrestling begins their season November 5th in Des Moines for the Grandview Open.
Make sure to join us tomorrow morning. We bring you football and volleyball updates and a field hockey feature.
Andrew, back to you.
That's all we have for you in this live Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV. We will see you right back here at 8:30 tomorrow. I'm Andrew Roberts. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.